Hello everybody, Jonathan here and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, as you can obviously see, I'm in the car, which can only mean one thing. We're heading off for a little drive. Saying heading off for a little drive, we are off to do some hunting. It has been a long time since we've done one of these videos, and to be fair, I'm still not really into doing the recording out in public, but I'm going to try and do some anyway. I'm feeling confident that I can make this happen, and hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of footage in some of the stores that we are going to be going into. Places have opened up here in the UK. It has been showcased in Big Paulie's latest hunting video for his Harley for Harley Quinn. So I thought, because it's a really nice day, I thought, why not? I'm gonna go out and do a little bit of hunting myself and see what we can pick up. So what's been happening, or what has been happening? How have you been doing, everybody? Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you've been doing to see your time pass by during this lockdown phase that is very slowly coming to a close. The lockdown hasn't been completely lifted here in the UK, as you may already know from some UK blue tubers videos, such as Big Paulie. He was out yesterday doing his thing. I wasn't in the right frame of mind, if I have to be really honest with you, but I haven't been in the right frame of mind for about a month, which kind of coincides with the last video that I uploaded. So what have I been doing in that time? Nothing. I just, like I said, I've not been in a very good place this last few weeks, and I think that's due to the fact that I'm just getting fed up of this whole thing, if I have to be really honest. I need to get back to work. I think we all need to get back to work, if I have to be really honest. It's all getting a bit too much. I mean, yes, I'm feeling time. Yes, I'm feeling in time with cooking for the staff at the hotel and mingling with everyone, which is also good. You know, there's nothing better than socialising with your co-workers that you're friendly with through work. There's nothing wrong with that, but when you can find to an ensuite room once all that is finished and you've had enough, it just gets boring. It really does get boring, and I'm sure there's a few people out there that can understand my situation. So this is my first Blu-ray hunt in 3.5 months. So I've been looking forward to getting out on the road to do this. If I really have to be honest, you know, it's nice. It's nice to be able to do this again. Everywhere's pretty much open now. I've not looked to see who has opened properly. I do know that HMV have opened a majority of the stores, but we'll just have to see what is open in Workington. I can't see there being many places being open. Like I say, we'll just have to play this by ear, guys. But I'm going to head off now, so we'll see you. So I'm going to head off now and finish up this drive, and I'll see you when we hit Workington. Okay everyone, so I've now landed in Workington. I did try to get a glimpse to see if HMV was open, but from the roadside from where HMV is, I couldn't, it wasn't very obvious if it was open or not, but I did see that Cex is open, so I'm going to be going in there, and I'm going to have a look and see what deals they've got going on in Cex. May have a look in Poundland also, depending on whether they're open as well. They're pretty much in the pedestrian area of Workington, which is the same for HMV, which is why I couldn't see from the road. But let's go and have a little look and see what everywhere's got. What can I say? What can I say? Well, to summarise that little afternoon, I only had an hour to get it in. I had to take up the disc parking, which allows me an hour's worth of time to do my thing. The big multi-story car park wasn't open for, I think, for obvious reasons. I did manage to find a few things, mostly in HMV. Poundland selection, half of it was all fame, so it's good enough to say that Poundland was a big fail this time. I don't think they've had a restock for a while, because the last time I was in there, they still had half a shelf worth of fame in there. Anyway, HMV and Cex couldn't get anything in there in terms of recording, so I think what I might have to do, I might have to do something rather drastic, which is very reminiscent of somebody else that's had to do something very similar on his channel as well, which is unfortunate that I'm having to do this. Which is unfortunate that I'm having to do the same thing. So in the coming weeks, you might see me having to do something very similar to what somebody else has done, namely Big Paulie. It's so difficult to get any kind of filming done in these stores, because it's very hit and miss. Sometimes they'll let you, and some days they'll let you, and some days they won't. So drastic measures are going to have to be taken. But like I say, I have got some stuff. Like I said, I have been into Computer Exchange, HMV as well. So I'm going to head off to Tesco's and Asda and have a look and see what they have in as well. With the hopefully with a bit of luck, I might be able to get something in those two stores. So we'll see you at one of the two destinations. And here we are, Tesco's. So let's have a look and see what they've got in. Oh man, pathetic, absolutely pathetic. In all honesty, I wasn't expecting much, but I didn't make I didn't make it go to waste. I did get a couple of things. There was no Blu-rays bought and nothing, because I think I'm more or less done. But I'll still go over to Asda and I'll have a look, and we'll have a look and see what they've got in there. Hopefully it's a bigger selection. Okay, so a couple of minutes later and I am now at Asda. It's literally just down the road from Tesco's. So let's head on in and see if they have a bigger selection than Tesco did. Okay, so looking at the more recent releases that we've had, there's Doolittle and Birds of Prey, which were this week's releases. I think Doolittle was anyway, could have been last week, but now just looking through the regular DVDs, there's Midway, Last Blood, The Hammer. I'm disappointed with Asda with this selection. Well, same with the selection, with the overall aisle anyway. There's not much here, just Mercy, the Iron Mask, but in general not much. So that's it for Asda, guys. Well, I'm pleased I got back in time for that, because it's starting to rain, and literally just starting to rain. What can I say about that one? I'm surprised to say the least. But having said that, they have been downsizing their entertainment aisle for some time now, but I wasn't expecting to going to find that. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, it was just a bit of a quick look at what was there. I didn't really take an awful lot of time to showcase what was there, but you kind of got the gist of what was there anyway. So let's go back to the hotel and I will show you what I have actually picked up. Well, that escalated quickly. So we're back. So let's check out what I've picked up today and what I've bought over the last month. Okay everyone, so now that we're nice and comfortable, let's get into what I have bought today. Plus I'm going to go into the stuff that I've actually picked up over the last 3 or 4 weeks as well. So first up, we have got here a HMV buy, the movie 1917. Now, I wanted to go and see this at the cinemas when it first came out. Now, unfortunately, because of the whole thing with work, because this came out at the cinemas while I was at work, and obviously it was one of the last releases before the lockdown started. So I never got around to buying it neither, but I never got around to seeing it at the cinema, so I was really quite disappointed about that. But now that I do actually own it, I can say I'm going to get this watched within the next, I'd say the next maybe 7 days at the most. It was one of my sought after movies of the lockdown, unfortunately, but I have it, and I'm pleased to say that I'm looking forward to watching it now. So that is 1917. Next up, we've got an Arrow release, which is coming at a pretty nice $14.99 from HMV, and we've got here The People Under the Stairs, which from Wes Craven. Now, I think I may have seen this before. I'm not 100% on that. It came as kind of a recommendation from 3B Video when they were talking about when they were discussing their last movie over the weekend. If you don't know who 3B Video are, It's one of the another channel on YouTube. You should really check them out, because for those horror fans, they specialise in horror. But they have gone sort of out of their comfort zone and reviewed and discussed movies out of the genre. But it's been more stuff that they've seen many years ago, so to speak. But they really are worth checking out, guys, if you haven't heard of them before. 3B Video, Evil Dead Inc. and Rotten Roger DeMarco. Really, really cool guys. Please check them out, because they really are good at what they do, and very knowledgeable about the horror genre as well. But like I said, the people under the stairs came up in their discussion. In their last discussion, wasn't on this movie. It was on something else, but it was recommended because the movie that they were talking about has elements of this movie in it. So I'm going to leave it at that one, guys. Looking forward to watching this to see if I have actually seen it, because I've got a funny feeling I have. But anyway, so yeah, People Under the Stairs. Next up, we've got the movie Wind River with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. This got a really good review from Chris Stuckman when he got round to watching it. So I'm looking forward to watching this as well. Not based on the review, but based on the cast, because I like both Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. A lot of people will know these two as Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch from the MCU. So I'll give you my thoughts on this once I've watched it, guys. So that's Wind River. Next up, we've got a movie with with a really, really good cast in it here. We've got Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Steve Buscemi, Iggy Pop, Selena Gomez, Adam Driver, and Danny Glover, and a few other people that I'm not very clued up on. And we've got here The Dead Don't Die. Another zombie film to add to my collection. Now you're probably thinking, why do I keep buying zombie movies if they're not my type of thing? Well, I have got my sights set on trying to get into them, really. A few of the people in my circle of friends here at the hotel have said to me, start with The Walking Dead, but I don't really want to start on that. I want to start on the old school stuff that has come out in the past, like the George Romero. I like the Evil Dead franchise anyway, but they're not really classed as zombie films, but they are zombie-like movies, if you get what I mean. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna watch this, and then we'll see how it go, and then we'll see what happens, and then we'll see what I think of this one. I think this is like a black comedy. You would think it was a black comedy with the cast anyway with Bill Murray and Steve Buscemi being in it. Well, saying Steve Buscemi, he's done stuff out of comedy anyway, but he does have a very good timing for comedy moments. And I'm going to bring up Armageddon as an example of that, because I think it's absolutely awesome in that film. It's probably the standout character in Armageddon anyway. I love Rockhound in that movie. He's so funny in that film, he really is. Okay, so now we're on to the CEX buys, and these are both Arrow editions yet again. And the first one that I've got here is the movie Hounds of Love, which is an Australian thriller about a serial killer couple that have been snatching women. Now this is also based on a true story, so I'm looking forward to actually watching this to see what happens in this. I've never heard of it, and it just comes as a nice little addition to my nicely grown Arrow collection anyway. So Hounds of Love, looking forward to that one. And last of today's buys is the movie Madman, which is another Arrow edition. I just picked this one up on a whim. This one came in at I think this one was £8. Hounds of Love, that came in at £4 from Cex, and this one was £8. So yeah, this kind of plays off like the first Friday the 13th, from what I can gather. I'm not going to go into it too much because I'd like to cover it in a separate video. So that is Madman. Looks kind of interesting. Right, okay. It says here on the back, inspired by the same Cropsey urban legend which informed 1981's The Burning and starring Dawn of the Dead's Gale and Ross. So it's inspired by The Burning of all movies. The Burning, I'm pretty sure I have seen The Burning, but yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. So that's Madman from Arrow Video. Right, okay, so let's get into an unboxing of one title I've got now. Unfortunately, not quite an unboxing because I wasn't keen on the last take that I did. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I know what it was anyway. I knew what it was anyway because I only ordered it 2 days ago. We've got here The Serpent and the Rainbow from Wes Craven once again. Now, this is the movie that 3B Video actually discussed last. This is the one where the people under the stairs comes in. I had never heard of this until that video came up on 3B's feed. So I am kind of looking forward to watching this. It got my curiosity just from them two talking about it. So I thought, why not pick it up and see what I think of it. It might be the first one that I'll watch out of everything that I do. Actually, it might be the first one that I'll watch out of everything that I'll be showing you in this video. Well, saying out of everything, I've watched a couple already, but out of the ones that I'm going to tell you that I've not watched yet, this will probably be the first one. Okay, so next up, we have got a few more. We've got another 5 movies, and the next 2 I'm going to show you are, once again, these are 3B recommendations. We've got here the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Collector. Now I've had these for about maybe 3 weeks, something like that. Might be a bit longer actually, to be honest with you. I can't quite remember, but I picked these up simply because they came recommended from the guys that I put my trust in horror. Now, I don't have many horror films in my collection, so I'd like to try and invest in one. Whether or not it's going to be with Arrow, it could be just regular Blu-ray edition. But I'd really like to get a decent little horror collection growing. I don't want to go too mad, because obviously I've got enough Blu-rays as it is. So I'm looking forward to checking up on these ones. I got about 15 minutes into Texas Chainsaw a few years ago, but I haven't really been that invested into watching it again. But I probably will watch it because I really like Tobe Hooper's first movie. So those ones are those. So these two, I am going to get up on. So thanks, Roger. Really appreciate that. Right, we've got next one of the other releases that came out before lockdown started. This one came out just as lockdown started, and we've got a Bad Boys for Life. That might be better. Might say better. Yeah, there you go. You can see it better. Bad Boys for Life. On 4K. I love the first two movies. I think they're awesome. So, with that being said, looking forward to watching this one nonetheless. Would have loved to have seen this at the cinemas, but unfortunately, again, like I say, with work and everything else, I was quite disappointed that I couldn't get to see it before the lockdown started. But anyway, you know, I've got it now, so it makes no difference. It makes no difference whatsoever. Next up are the two movies that I have seen, and I'm pleased that I'm actually telling you this now, because I can kind of I can give you reviews on it, because I don't need to with the next one, with the one I'm about to show you, because I've already reviewed it. And we've got here Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, this film is somewhat childhood memories for me, and I did actually mention that. I did actually say that in my review of it months ago that I put up. I love this movie. This is so good. It really is. Not quite as in keeping with the game, but there are plenty Easter eggs that reference the game. They're not exactly difficult to pick out, but you'll have so much fun with this film. You really will. It is really good, and a real surprise. It really is. Jim Carrey in this. Yes. 90s Jim Carrey is definitely back in this film, and I'm actually looking forward to see what they do with him in the new one. I really am, because it's got it. Did you see that? What was that? Anyway, but yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, everyone. Sonic the Hedgehog. What more can I say? Okay, so the last one that I've got for you guys is it's a movie that is actually very close to my heart. It was one film that gave me nightmares for months on end when I first watched it. I was underage when I saw it, but you know, when I was little, there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to watch that my mum always told me that I would never be able to get through, and I always used to say, I'll be alright, it'll be fine. I'm not going to go too deep into stories about stuff that I watched and then left, because I was too frightened to watch the rest of it. But I will say that this movie gave me nightmares for months. I can really truly say that it did. But it inspired my taste into monster movies. So you'll have to bear with me on this one when I say monster movies, because technically it isn't a monster movie, but at the time it got me into the genre of monster movies. And we've got here the Cine edition of Jaws, which I think is so cool. If I just show you this lenticular here, it just looks amazing. I love it. I love how they've put the Jaws title inside the shark's mouth, and I'll just spin it round to the back, and there you can see Chrissy at the back, who is the shark's first victim in the movie. It's a brilliant presentation. This, it really is. It comes in. This is the 4K. This is the 4K release, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing. The nighttime shots especially is where the 4K really shines, because it doesn't look that much different. It doesn't look that much different in the day shots, but when you get to the evening shots, you can really tell they've put a lot of effort into trying to make it not quite as in your face as some transfers can be. Now, I haven't watched a lot of like big budget 4K movies as of yet. I'm yet to try the Marvel movies, so we'll see how they pan out. But for the moment, this one is a pretty good addition, and like I say, it's a very subtle transfer when it comes to the actual picture quality, but it's, you know, it does just as good. You know, it really does the movie just a lot of justice. Now, there was something that did actually spark a bit of, that left a bit of a bad taste in people's mouths, which I can kind of understand when you think, which I can actually kind of understand. Now, with this edition comes a booklet, so for those people that already know what I'm talking about, you can turn the video off. That, as far as you're concerned, this video is over now anyway. But for those people who are not clued up as to what has happened with this edition, we've all had to order new booklets because they have made a mess of the one that we've already got. The pages are all over the place. A lot of them aren't even in the right order, so they've had to go back and reprint the whole thing, and they're sending everybody out a new booklet. But there's like certain things you have to do to be able to get the booklet, which is all good. I've done my part and I'm getting mine. At first I wasn't that overly bothered until I actually saw the mistakes that they made, and the pretty big mistakes as well, which is quite, you could say, is fairly inexcusable. And how they could make that mistake without realising before they put it out for sale is really quite beyond me, to be honest with you. I don't know how they could have made a mistake like that. But anyway, they're reprinting them off. And we're getting our new ones fairly, I think, in the next couple of months or something like that, until they get them all reprinted. But let me show you an example of what they've done. So for those people that actually know their actors, let me show you this one. Let me show you this. Do you see anything out of place here? For those people that don't know, that guy is not Richard Dreyfuss. That is Roy Scheider. And this guy right here is Robert Shaw, but there's no sign of his name anywhere. This is at the start of the book. This is the start of the book. Where's it at? Where's it at? There we go. There's his name. And there's Robert Shaw. So, we're nearly at the back of the book. So we've got that, and there's his name. And then to top this off, how they could do this, I really don't know. It really is beggars belief, and that is supposed to be Roy Scheider. That's Richard Dreyfuss, people. Yeah, that is Richard Dreyfuss, and yeah, you can actually go onto IMDb or Google and it will actually be confirmed. Inexcusable, really, how they could make that kind of mistake. I really don't know, but likewise, guys, that is just the cine edition of it. I needn't bother showing you the rest of it. They do out. It does come with postcards, but it's just images from them. It's just images from the movie. But that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you enjoyed this. It's been a while since I've uploaded one. It's been a month. Like I said earlier on, I haven't quite been myself throughout this last month. I think, like I said before, it's just a case of I'm just getting a little bit, because of lockdown, my mindset has just been very slowly going down and down and down and down and down. But I'm hoping that this might, I'm hoping because I've done this quite a few times over the last 2 years. I'm hoping that my attitude might change a little, so we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, give it some thumbs up, subscribe, comment and share. You know, give me your thoughts on any of the titles that I've shown you in this video. Tell me what you think overall. Talk between yourselves and talk between yourselves and all as well. No problem at all. If you didn't like the video, feel free to leave a dislike. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. It will probably make me try and think of what I need to do to try and make this channel a lot better than what it already is. Not saying that it isn't a good channel. I'm just saying there's always room for progression and to try and make it better, and to try and make it a better one. Right, with that being said, guys, thank you so much, and this is my Trekflix signing off.